Hello, everyone. Of course, I have a new book today, and it's called When Lola Speaks. Now, I'm going to tell you there are going to be some words in here that you're going to have to bear with me. We'll pronounce them together. So it's written and illustrated by Reyes, Dela, Cruz. When I was just a little child, I asked my mommy, why does grandma say such funny words like be cows or party priest? Sometimes she calls a him a her, they a them, or she a he. And sometimes I don't know at all what she's saying to me. And when it is time to eat, she tells me, Kena. She asks me if I want too big, but I am still so small. Then she gives me too much food, and then she gives me more. She tells me to eat all you can when I don't want any more. Mommy gave a gentle look and chuckled just a bit. She told me a story that I would not forget. Your Lola is my hero, and one day she'll be yours too. But it takes a special kind of listening to hear what she says to you. She comes from half a world away, where quite some time ago, voyagers sailed and made their home in an archipelago. Oh my goodness, I told you were going to have to bear with me. In an archipelago. There were no words to describe all the beauty they could see, so they made up their own names and words, and their language was set free. Then one day, a visitor came and took it all away. The visitor thought his words were better and decided he should stay. As time went on and years went by, the voyagers forgot their names and special words they made. The more the visitor taught, Sipa must mean kick. Zzz. Nag hikab. Liwanag. Tamakas. But the visitor did not have words for things he hadn't seen. And the language that the voyagers made had a name for almost everything. So the voyagers decided that they should take the lead and make sure that the visitor knew it was time for him to leave. The voyagers began to practice what they knew all along, that the words they made up for themselves made their people strong. These words help us remember where our family is from. They are memories of our ancestors, full of hope that we'd become. People who would do big things and help each other grow, who only become stronger the more words that they know. So while your, let's see what this word is, while your Lola might just say a few words differently, she has so many other words to tell you what she means. Listen to the words she says that are different from your own, and you will be surprised at how much more your hearing grows. So I listened to my mom, and when my grandma had come near, I took a breath and made sure that I opened up my ears. But the words that Lola said that were not the same as mine still did not make sense, and I tried time after time. I followed her around the house for what seemed like forever, listening and hoping that my hearing would be better. I'm glad that I had worked so hard because I caught her one night stretching her lips in the mirror so she'd get her words just right. I followed her to the garden where she kept her vegetables. Spinach is her favorite one, but I think it's terrible. When she said to get SP nuts, that is when I learned she just says her letters bigger so she is better heard. Maybe that is why her because becomes because. She has to spell out every letter just to tell me how. I have not been listening the best way that I can, so I will spend more time with her until I can better understand. I guess it's hard for Lola to be so far away from her home and not be able to say all she wants to say. I bet that she could tell me so many more stories. Maybe I can ask her to teach these words to me. Then we went and took our dog, Tops, to the party. He's a good boy, but Lola doesn't like it when he barks. Tell her to be quiet. With covered ears, she said Toby is a him. I told her as I tapped his head. He or she, him or her, to me, they are all the same. Doesn't matter what you are if I know you by your name. In Filipino, we use, let me see what this word, we use saya, whether boy or girl. I think that says Sia, S-I-Y-A. I believe it's Sia, whether boy or girl. Who you are not, what you are is more important in this world. You are very good at English, and I know that I am not, but I also want to make sure that my own words are not lost. I'd like to practice more and more, but then who would protect the words and phrases that my Lola also used and kept? Then I remembered the story my mom had just told me about the voyagers and visitors and their history. I wanted to have my Lola speak English more clearly, and here she was fighting to protect these words from me. Like a warrior of words, she wielded more than one language. She practiced them so carefully to keep a sharper edge when speaking to and understanding everyone she met, even if her English was not as good or fluent yet. When I got older, she'd still say, "Came na," when I came home. Please don't give me too much food, I told her with a groan. I give you lots so you remember what is good for you. These are flavors that your family long ago prepared for you. And then I give you too big so you drink healthier. I see you drinking soda, so you should also have water. I laughed so hard that all the water spilled out of my mouth. I had always thought toe nug was how much food she would take out. Thank you, Lola, I said as I turned to her and smiled. Say salamat po, she said. You have much to learn, my child. I told her I am listening and learning all the words you share so that you can trust that I will keep this treasure in my care. Then my mom walked in the kitchen to see the mess I made. It sounds like someone learned a lesson, she said as she made a plate. I learned new ways to listen and that my family is unique, with lessons I can only learn whenever Lola speaks. Different words in a different language. So when Lola speaks, there are a lot of you listening who are bilingual. You speak two languages, and English may not be your first language. Tagalog may be your first language, or Spanish, or Punjabi. So, whatever your first language is, embrace it. The differences in your culture and the English culture. We all should embrace each other's cultures. It's beautiful to learn one from another. We're not all the same. It would be boring that way. It's wonderful that we're all different and we can learn every day. If you like this story, press like at the end, and I'll see you next time. Bye.